The plan is not just me, and this is not some fly-by-night operation. We have an entire team here to help you. It's Tony, it's Elaine, it's Ian, it's Ashley, Mikey, it's Daniel, it's Anthony, Jason, and Will.
And we take care of all the other stuff that circles around that, from support to delivery.
The most common question that I hear is, does it actually work? And the answer always is, hell yeah, it works.
I'm just a numbers girl, and numbers always talk to me, and I just couldn't believe the figures that were coming in on the bots that I was setting up.
I hate telling people because then they'll hit you up for money.
I made like 10% in my first month.
In the 3 months that I have been doing the plan, I've had a return of about 28%.
It's been running for almost 3 months. It's up 30%.
I'm 4 months into this, and I'm averaging double-digit returns per month.
In the stock world, you might get 8%, 10% a year if you're lucky. When, now I'm getting like 10, 20% within 2 months, which is like insane.
It's been 3 months. On that 15K, it's generated a return of about 6,000 to 7,000.
Real money, not if I sell it. Because somebody at the end of the day bought some coin and said, look, I've doubled my money. Well, not if you don't sell it right now. If you hold on and it goes back down, you haven't really made that money. I mean, it's unrealized gains. This is actual profit and income.
You could actually take that money, you could offload it back to your bank account and not disturb the underlying asset. The bot continues to perform. It just spits out money.
Breaking off profit like nothing you've ever seen. Not real estate, not a banker. There's nothing else out there that's this passive, this much fun.
And to be able to see profit every single day, regardless of what's happening, of the value of the coins, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is stunning.
I told Dan about this letter I got from American Express, and it said, oh, you're safe now. You can get 0.4% on your money from American Express. You can retire early. And I just thought, wow, they don't have a clue what's happening in this world right now.
And this is a sort of like our little rebellion in the crypto world.
Working on the figures that I've made in the last 6 weeks, I'm thinking if I can replicate those over a year, then that's a solid income.
This year, my accountant did my bots, and he's like, Elaine, can you check to make sure this is accurate? Because the bots were so profitable. Like, he thought it was a mistake.
This is absolutely not something that is certain, because there's uncertainty in this world. It's just generally the uncertainty that we're dealing with is, how big is your wiggler in terms of your automation? Is it a $20 a day automation? Is it a $50? Is it $70? Is it a $37? And our answer is, who cares? If people are handing out money, I'm not going to complain whose face is on the bill. I'm just going to say, thank you. Do you got any more? It's like trick-or-treating here. I don't care what candy you give me. Just keep giving me candy. Eventually, I'll get all the candy that I want. I mean, if you give me some of those Raisinets, I'll just throw those away. But give me this Reese's, I'll take those.
Every time you see a green dot, I'm buying just a little bit of crypto. And every time you see a red dot, I'm selling a little bit for a profit. I make small vending machine-like money from the wiggle profits, and it works 24/7.
I spent 18 years on Wall Street. What the plan actually does is what every professional market maker does on Wall Street. It buys when the price is going down, and it sells when the price is going up.
So if you've bought 1,000 thin slices, and each slice you bought, you sold it for a quarter more, like an actual US quarter, more than what you bought it for, how much money then did you just make?
Crypto is so volatile that most people aren't comfortable getting into it. And of course, the volatility is the very thing that makes the plan so spectacular.
We say, awesome. The more volatile it is, the more slices of crypto we can buy and sell, and the faster we can do that.
And there you have it. This is simple. People often ask, will this become saturated? Is it true that the more people that do it, the less effective it will be? This is a massive market.
These are big coins with big market caps of billions of dollars, sometimes even tens of billions of dollars.
It's almost like, throwing sugar into the ocean. That's not going to make it sweet.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. It's not the exact same coins at the exact same time with the exact same settings. And it's going to be impossible for us to even bump into each other if we're walking into crypto worlds. We're all going to be all around it at all given times, wiggling our way to profit.
You can learn the plan in a day. You can implement it within an hour, and you can start making money within minutes. No trading is necessary. You're not going to spend time looking at charts and staring at the monitor, and you're not going to have sleepless nights worrying about this.
I no longer have to sit in front of 6 screens watching blinking lights and screens.
You know, Dan talks a lot about get in, set it and forget it, and just let the bots do their thing. Don't mess around too much. I took that to heart, and that's what I do.
This really doesn't require any technical skills whatsoever. If you can send an email and do, basic filling out of forms on the web, then you're going to be able to set up these automations, click the button, and you'll be up and running.
And I can set a bot up now in 30 seconds flat, literally. Bing, bam, boom. Done.
The hardest part of crypto is really onboarding your money from the traditional world into crypto land.
You're going to discover it's very similar to other experiences where you set up accounts. They're going to need some information. You're going to jump through a couple different hoops just to establish you're a real person and not a computer.
It's kind of like a rocket ship, right? Most of your energy is spent trying to get into orbit. The rest of it is pretty easy.
The plan itself, it's very simple. To help you get going, I wrote a book. It's called One Coin, Two Coin, What Coin Bitcoin? And I wrote it with my partners, Daniel and Elaine. It's a book for grown-ups, but it's written in a way that makes doing crypto like child's play.
It's for the ADD people. Just to cut to the chase, here's how you do it. This is like a See Dick and Jane book. That's simple.
We actually built in a crypto journal. Where to put your passwords, your accounts, how much you're putting in, all of your information, all in one neat, organized place.
Now, this is not the plan. This is a prequel to the plan. This is designed to help you to get your money into crypto land so that it's ready to do the plan.
So if you're new to the plan, it may be a bit confusing and you're hearing terms like bot or grids or automation. And really, all those terms are exactly the same. Really, automation is what it is. It's automating your trades. Once the parameters are set, you leave it alone and let the automation make the money for you. In the early days, there was a tremendous amount of scams when it came to cryptocurrency. And both Dan and I, and probably everybody on our team, was scammed out of tens of thousands of dollars.
Sending money to wallets that supposedly are yours, but then you realize that it never was yours to begin with.
I should have had my radar up, but it was still, these scam artists are very, very enticing.
And they had all this pack levels and all this stuff where now I realize they just made it so intentionally confusing.
That will never end in this world. There are people who want to take advantage of people, and that's an unfortunate thing. But it leaves it to who do you trust? Who do you listen to? Then word of mouth becomes one of the greatest tools. You get to hear it from someone you trust.
Your money, your crypto will always be in your control. It will be in your exchange, the exchange of your choice. I don't have access to your money. The software, the automation does not have access to your money. You're in control.
What I love about the plan is that, again, you're not sending any money to any wallets. You're not sending any money to anyone at the plan. It's more of the education that you're investing in.
Your money is never locked into any type of long-term deal. You can stop this at any time. You can withdraw the money at any time, or you can do like most people do and rev it up, but you are in the driver's seat all of the time. This is not shorting. All of our purchases are buy low, sell a little bit higher. One thing you have to be careful of in crypto is leverage. That is the number one way that people lose money when trading. So there's no leverage involved in the plan whatsoever. So in that area, you're perfectly safe. In the course, I teach you how to find the coin pairs. That's the number one question people ask. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes. It's not that hard. And what are we looking for? We're not looking for the next coin that's going to moonshot. We're looking for coins that are wiggling. Actually, no, this is cloud-based, meaning that even while you sleep, this will run on your exchange without your computer being on.
So what's it take to get started? 3 things, that's it. The first is education. The second is the automation software. And the third is your investment capital. So the education, you can get started for $34.97, or there's an installment plan. And that gets you access to everything Dan's figured out, and that's lifetime access. The second thing is the automation software. It's not our software. It is the best software, though, that Dan has found to do all these automations. It's a small monthly fee. Because it's third-party software, the price may change, but at the time that I'm speaking to you now, it's just under $70 per month. And then the third thing is your own investment capital. The minimum to make the plan work is $3,000 of starting initial capital. And after that, you can grow it out of the wiggle that you make in terms of your cash flow profit. Or you can put more in later. You can do whatever you want at that point.
One of the biggest mistakes you can assume is that you just go out and subscribe to a service or download some software to do grid trading. If you heard that Stephen King used Microsoft Word, you wouldn't rush out and buy Microsoft Word assuming that all of a sudden you would be a #1 bookseller.
There's no way I could spend 3 years and an ungodly amount of money figuring this out on my own. I'm just not that patient. I'm not that smart. I'm not that good. And he's figured it all out.
Dan has already tested everything that he is teaching us.
People say for the course, it's, they have to pay for the course. You have to pay for mistakes you make.
He's already made his mistakes. He's already lost his money. He's earned way more money than he's lost.
Now, let's not get it twisted, though. If you are rubbing 2 nickels together and it's the plan or maybe not paying your mortgage next month, then obviously don't ever put yourself in a position where you can't get out of whatever corner you back yourself into. What we've discovered, though, is most people who feel like they don't have finances to make a go at this, they actually do. It's just that they're so scared because everything they've ever put their money into before hasn't worked out for them in the way that they thought it would.
At the time, I thought it might have been a tad expensive. Looking back on it now, it's the best thing I could have done.
It's difficult to estimate exactly how long it would take for you to recoup your investment, but based on the many members that we've worked with, it's reasonable to assume that you should be able to do this within a 2 to 3 month period.
The profits generated by the bots paid for the plan in a month and a bit.
Once you sign up, we will send you an agreement and a non-disclosure, an NDA. It's important that you read this and then you will sign it and send it back. If for any reason you're not comfortable and you decide not to, then we will give your money back at that point. But once you've signed up and you're accepted, then there are no refunds. One of the great things about the plan is that the automation allows you to practice in play mode. Literally, we will give you like $1 million in play money so that you can practice this.
I didn't risk any money for a month. I just kept playing with demo bots and seeing how they performed. And you think, oh, wow, I wish that was real money.
And I would recommend that you go ahead, sign up, and learn how to do this so that when you do have capital ready, you're able to jump in there and make money right away.
I started with 1 bot. I started with the smallest amount you can possibly start with. I've been building it up ever since.
You do what Dan says. You jump in small increments, spread your risk, be diverse, and build it up, build a portfolio, slowly but surely. And that's my strategy of doing it.
Now let's talk about a very fun and exciting and inspiring topic, which are taxes. First of all, if you make money, you're probably going to have to pay taxes on it. At least in most parts of the world, that's been the experience.
I'm not going to worry about it for a little while. I'm going to make some money first and then worry about the tax on it.
And then when the time comes for taxes, we're going to help point you in the right direction to the right resources and the right people that are licensed to give you tax advice.
We have what I call extreme support. We have over 30 people that will read your email within 1 hour of getting it and answer it. And note, I said read your email.
You can always get support really fast.
These guys have gotten back to me very quickly.
You never feel like you're on your own.
The magic of the plan is that it works so well in markets that go up or down. It doesn't matter whatsoever.
Because it doesn't go just straight down. At the micro scale, it's always wiggling. And so I'm making money as it drops. In the news, they're calling it a crash, but that's just a small little blip within this grid.
I can log into my account and still see that I profited. That is the difference.
What's the value of Bitcoin? What's the value of Ethereum? But if you really pull the thread on that, what's the value of the US dollar or the Canadian dollar or the British pound?
After 1971, with the famous Nixon taking the US dollar off the gold standard, there's nothing backing it. We're just all walking around trading bits of paper.
So when somebody says crypto is not backed by anything and it's digital, how can we trust it? Your money at the bank is digital. It's made up. They made it out of thin air.
Now we've got the debt ceiling being raised yet again. I mean, where does it all end? Just a matter of time before the whole financial system just collapses on itself.
So when you realize you want to work really hard and leave something for your children and your grandchildren, you can't really honestly do that with US dollars.
But with Bitcoin, they've committed 21 million, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, no more than that will ever be mined. That gives us a scarcity, that gives us something of value. That's what everyone's talked about with gold over so many years.
And that's why a lot of people, me included, are thinking it's the greatest thing we've ever seen invented. It's going to be better than the internet.
I remember calling people and saying, like, the internet's going to be really big. It's going to be great. And they're like, no, we'll wait and see if this happens. And that's the same thing like crypto now. I tell people, I go, you know, crypto's going to be big. And they're like, we'll wait and see.
There's way too many smart people in it who are interested in it and who are working on it for it to be nothing.
The clinical trials that they're running right now through the blockchain are going to revolutionize the medical industry.
I have a company where I work with talented artisans in Rwanda. It has opened my eyes to how this is available to anybody. The amount that an artisan can make in automation within a day could equal their salary for an entire month.
Why would you not want to be involved in something that has outperformed everything else on this planet? Better than gold, better than real estate, better than stocks and bonds. From day one, Bitcoin has been the winner by over 1,000%.
When something has been revolutionary, has it ever truly been denied? Did they deny the internet? They couldn't, right? And even before that, now my cat's in the screen. Now both cats are in here. Are you on the plan?
We do need to be concerned about the environment and cryptocurrency.
How Bitcoin is mined, that takes all this computing power. And it would be foolish for us to create a world that's on fire while we're making a little bit of money before it all blows up. But the innovations in energy that the blockchain is producing are wonderful. They're figuring out how to use volcano power. I know that sounds crazy. And so that's why I'm still confident that this will be a solution to the energy crisis, not just a contributor to it.
Dan's destiny is to be a teacher. He is such a good teacher.
Yeah, I grew up thinking I would be a music teacher, and yes, I got a degree in music and ended up teaching at the University of Illinois in classical guitar. In fact, my wife is a cellist. I met her in music school. But it's hard to make a living as a music teacher. Thank God the internet came along and saved my butt.
Dan takes you directly to the promised land.
He empowers you to be your own smart person. Here's a simple set of rules I figured out through trial and error. You take it, you run with it. If you need anything, holla. If not, have fun buying your own island. Hopefully it's right close to mine and we can like shoot Roman candles and bottle rockets at each other. I don't know where they came from.
We all admire and appreciate him on a level that we would never tell him probably, but but we all feel it. He's just a remarkable human being. He really is. I'm very fortunate to have him as my friend.
There's a quote, "The scars you share become lighthouses for other people who are headed to the same rocks you hit." And Dan was my lighthouse.
You begin to see a glimmer of hope for your financial future in a way that you maybe never have before.
So if you're thinking of joining the plan, I'd say, yeah, just do it. Because, you know, the plan is one of the greatest financial opportunities available right now.
It is the single best thing I have ever purchased on the internet, and nothing is even close.
The only thing I could say to people is, look, let the results speak for themselves. No one needs to convince you. Just follow the steps, do the demos. You don't have to actually risk anything at the beginning. And I think that's really, for me, how I've pushed through that. Oh, it's too good to be true, because I'm actually seeing the results. They just speak for themselves.
You're going to be able to get on the bus, and we're going on a grand tour of crypto land. And I will take you to the sweet spots. I will show you the ways you can make money in areas that it would take you otherwise years to discover. And here's the thing, whether you get on the bus with me or not, you're going to end up here anyway. Because the blockchain is our future. Crypto's not going anywhere. Your children and your children's children will live in a blockchain world. And it's exciting.
I've got all my merchandise.
And we're having the time of our life. And we're making money. And what's not to like about that?